they have scanners. Like you scan for a temperature, and then they only allow certain number of people in the store at one time. They keep the doors and windows open the whole time. I mean, they're taking it seriously.
Yeah.
But then in the same little area, you go down the street a little bit and you see this packed-in izakaya with tons of people and the doors shut.
Yeah.
Door shut.
Yeah, and you're looking at them, you're like, what are you doing? Like. Hey everybody, welcome back to Small Talk Japan. On this podcast, we talk about all things Japan in English. My name is Michi, and this is my co-host,
Natsuki.
and our brand new co-host,
Alex, hello.
Hey, Alex.
Hello, everyone.
So we got two new things today. We got a new co-host, Alex, and we got a new table.
New table.
Nice table.
Which one are we more excited about?
Table.
Table.
I'm very excited about this
yeah,
table.
no weird sound. Before we get a weird sound every time we shake the table.
Yeah, so this set is virtual. It's not real. And the table,
Don't say that.
the table was real.
Right.
Is real now, but the table before also was real. But the table before was kind of crap, and it would move around a lot. And
It's still here.
Oh, it's over there.
it's over there.
You made it yourself, right?
I did.
Yeah, that's why it was so crap, right?
No, I made it very quickly, and I made it collapsible because this studio we use for a bunch of things.
Yeah.
And so this table is much better.
It's quite sturdy.
Yeah.
It's sturdy, and it also it's kind of curved, so we're kind of looking at each other. So it's cool.
Bought
Yeah.
it from Rakuten, right? That's what. Oh,
Yes,
I
I
shouldn't.
did buy it from Rakuten. That's fine. Give a shout
Okay.
out to Rakuten.
Okay.
When it comes to furniture, Rakuten is better than Amazon.
That's
We're going
right.
for sponsorship here.
We love you too, Amazon.
Amazon's pretty good as well.
Does Amazon sponsor anybody?
I don't know.
I don't think they do.
Not sure. Don't see it often.
Speaking of Amazon, I was talking last year about this, Alex, with Hayato and Natsuki. I was saying how because of Corona, I've just been buying so much unnecessary shit on Amazon,
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
How are you with this?
I do buy a bit of stuff on Amazon now and then. Yeah. I've been looking at a VR headset recently, but I've not quite made the purchase yet.
That's right. You're a father of two.
Yeah.
You're over 40.
Yeah.
It's not something.
Where are
that
you
I-
actually?
I know. That's not something I should laugh about.
Over 40. Yeah. You still find times to play some games sometimes.
Yeah, hell yeah. Nighttime. Late at night.
What are you playing these days? You're playing Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk 2077.
I hear that's
yeah.
all trash, right? So
Well, it's
broken.
a bit buggy, yeah.
a bit buggy.
T-posing. Do you know what T-posing is?
No.
Where they stand up with no clothes on, the model. The 3D model, when they build it.
Yeah.
They build them with their arms out to the side.
Yeah.
And it sometimes just pops up in the middle of the game for no reason.
And you're just like,
So I'm
hi.
just like, I think it's a feature. You know what I mean?
It's a feature.
Yeah. No, it's fun, man. You know what I mean? So try and find a bit of time for that.
Well, it's good that you can find something to do during the pandemic, right? And
Yeah,
playing video
true.
games is it cheap? Because you just bought yourself a new computer.
No, it's not cheap, no. Depends how much you want to do it, I suppose, yeah.
Natsuki, what are you doing during the pandemic?
Drinking at
Yeah,
home.
I'm doing that as well.
Yeah.
Dude, everybody's
What are you
getting
drinking?
So fat.
Wine.
Wine.
Yeah, and shochu. Oh, recently
She just got excited, everybody.
I like hot whiskey. That was good. I mean,
Hot whiskey?
Yeah, like I pour some hot water and whiskey.
Ah.
It's like a shochu no oyuari,
Yeah,
whiskey
yeah,
no
yeah.
oyuari.
Hot
How do you-
toddy.
Hot toddy? Is
Yeah.
that what you call?
Is that what it's
so.
called?
I think so, yeah.
It's called a whiskey and hot water where I'm from.
Whiskey, in
and hot water.
I
Yeah.
don't know, man. I don't know.
It's good. It's warm your body and it's good.
Does it make you okay when you drink like shochu with hot water? It gets you drunk really fast. Does the same thing happen?
Yeah, but I put just a little bit, so it doesn't make me like really drunk. Just warm up.
So what are you drinking, Alex?
Craft beer,
From beer.
Nihonshu, sake. Drink a lot
Dude,
of
sake.
recently.
Dude, I get so fucked up on sake. Like I drink like 2 of them and I'm wasted.
Thing is with sake, right? You'll sit down and drink it, and you don't think you're that drunk, and when you stand up, it comes straight to your legs. You just go like, whoa. I don't know why that happens, man.
My mom used to give us sake when we had a cold. She'd like she'd microwave some sake and so it gets all warm. And she's like, here, drink this. I'm like, it tastes bad. She's like, it's medicine. I'm just drunk.
Oh my God. How old were you?
I don't know, a kid.
But kids in England, like, they rub whiskey on the teeth when they're teething.
Ah, same thing. Is this why I'm an alcoholic? Is this why I'm an alcoholic?
Well, I get that as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, did they do it in Japan where they put whiskey on the teeth when the baby's teeth are coming out?
No. I've never heard of it, and I've never tried it to my baby.
Don't do
Maybe
it
you
to your
should.
baby.
I mean, is
Maybe not.
did your wife did to your kids?
No.
We
Did it
don't-
to me, though, and I'm fine.
I'm fine.
But I was raised in the 80s, so it's different.
Yeah.
For
but-
what? For what? No.
Itami, the pain, it goes
Oh,
away.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, but I don't know if that works or not. Do you guys hear this? Okay, so Anheuser-Busch, the beer like family that they sold it to, I think, Dubai or something. But anyways, the family that used to have the Budweiser kingdom. When the babies are born, the very first thing that they do is they put Budweiser beer in their mouth
Really?
because it's the first thing that they ever
Poor
drink.
kids.
Poor
Get some
kids.
decent beer, man.
And not to say that we don't want sponsorship from Budweiser, but Budweiser is the shittiest beer
It is.
in the world. It's so bad.
What
Why?
about
Is it
Coors Light?
Taste? You mean?
Yeah, because it's rice. It's basically rice wine mostly, I think.
Really?
Don't sue us. I'm not sure about that.
Oh.
No.
It tastes like water. It's like, so Alex, you drink craft beer, so you like the flavor.
Yeah.
What do you think about Budweiser?
Budweiser sucks, man.
Really?
It's got a nice design on the bottle.
Yeah.
But, like, when you open it and drink it, it's just disappointment
What
central,
about
man.
Heineken?
Wait. Josh has something to say. Wait,
Oh, do you want to know what's in Budweiser?
is it rice wine?
It says it uses barley, malt, rice, water, hops, and yeast.
Oh.
And-
Rice water.
Just adding on to what Alex said earlier, that is a hot toddy, the whiskey with hot water, but they usually add lemon or honey as well.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Yeah, that might
Try
be
that.
good. Yeah, I'm gonna add some hot.
Guys make me wanna
honey.
drink.
Yeah.
Now, so I was just at a home party like a couple weeks ago, and one of the hosts like prepared Budweiser for me as like a the American is coming, so here's what you like, right? And I got there and I was like, this is the worst beer in the world. It's too bad. I feel bad. Sorry, I should have done that, but it's really shit. Have you ever tried Budweiser?
Oh yeah, of course. And we can buy at the convenience store easily.
But the Budweiser
Yeah.
in Japan's different.
Really?
Yeah, it tastes weird.
I like it actually. I like light beer.
Oh.
It's like beers that I have in Asian countries. Like it tastes like water.
It's weird that, like, when I went to Korea, we had, like, yakiniku there or whatever, you know, the barbecue.
Yeah.
And the beer there we drank was really nice with that food in Korea. So
Yeah.
I bought some and took it home. It tastes like shit. It's
Was it like Cass or something?
something like that? Yeah. It was nice when I was there, but when I brought it back, it was just awful.
Don't you ever? This happens to me all the time. You go on vacation somewhere and you enjoy like the drinks and the food while you're there, but you bring it home and you're just like, "This is horrible.
Yeah.
Why did I like this?"
Yeah,
That's happened. That's happened.
It's
But-
like it's because you're there.
yeah, in my case, hot wine. When I would travel to Germany, I really liked drinking hot wine, but it tastes horrible when I had
It's not.
some in here.
Mulled wine is brilliant.
Mulled wine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's sweet and it tastes funny.
Is it okay? So I've only ever seen this in like movies, but do people actually like put their cups into like the like pot of mulled wine and like drink it like
Not
that?
anymore.
So you mean used to be? Used to be?
I don't know. Like
Maybe.
I saw it in like movies or something. I was like, do people actually do that?
Don't you do it with the eggnog in America? I don't even know what eggnog is.
I've actually never had eggnog. I don't know what it is.
It sounds horrible.
It does look and sound horrible.
Does eggnog taste like vanilla shake?
Never had it before, so don't know.
Oh, okay. What about you, Josh?
Well, the like non-alcoholic version of eggnog does kind of taste like a milkshake, like a thick milkshake,
Sick milkshake.
but it's traditionally made with like rum, brandy, or some other alcohol mixed with beaten egg, milk, and sugar. So it's kind of like a custard in a
Oh,
sense.
okay.
Gross.
Oh.
Josh is like directly connected to the internet. He's the font of all knowledge, right?
Have you ever seen Joe Rogan's podcast?
Yeah.
He's basically Jamie.
Right.
They both start with the J.
There you go.
Yeah, so we're gonna try to make Josh bigger than Jamie. He's looking at us like maybe. Anyway, so guys, today we actually have a topic to talk about. Okay.
Okay.
Today, for those of you who don't know, this show is recorded. So today's January 9th. I wish it was July 9th. January 9th. And today we want to talk about Corona in Japan, COVID-19 in Japan, which is kind of a topic that we've been in past shows avoiding because it's kind of depressing. But actually a lot of my friends back home want to know what has Japan been doing during the Corona pandemic. What's different about their approach versus like European countries and North America and things like that. So I wanted to talk about that today. First, Alex, can you please tell us, like, you work at Sengayen?
Yeah.
So you guys are like one of the tourist destinations in the whole country, right?
Yeah.
Corona's been really it's been really bad for a lot of different businesses, but for Sengayen, has it been that bad? Because you guys are a largely outdoor venue.
Yeah, I mean, like for travel industry generally, like hospitality-based businesses, restaurants, things like that, it's been hit really, really hard actually. And even though we're outside, because we didn't know the scope of coronavirus, we closed from like April till August.
Which, can I just say, you guys, I think if there's a way to do the pandemic, you guys did it right.
Yeah.
We didn't have a lot of information. This is back when this was when the Diamond Princess, when we were still talking about stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we didn't know how bad it was going to be. We didn't know how deadly it was. We didn't know a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so you guys took a very responsible approach. You closed down, you took care of the staff, and you just said, all right, let's just wait.
Well, our main thing was basically quick decision making, closing the grounds down.
Yeah.
And then while we were closed, implementing procedures to do new normal, mask wearing, alcohol gel. We made like a form you have to fill in before you come into the gardens online. All kinds of different stuff.
Can I compliment you guys on this? There's all these different businesses here locally where we are in Kagoshima that they don't record the people who show up to their establishment.
Yeah.
You guys were one of the very first companies in the whole prefecture to do this. And I was actually amazed because I'm walking in, they're like, scan this QR code. And I'm like, okay, scan it, fill out your information. So if there was like an outbreak or something like that, you could contact those people and do contact tracing.
Yeah, so like we keep it for 30 days, and then after 30 days we delete everything.
Yeah, which is responsible.
So, it's easier to do it online as well, so you don't have loads of paper sat around and
people are touching the same pens and stuff. You don't want to do that.
Yeah. So I mean, it just makes sense, And I actually traveled around to a bunch of different places over the last month or so, and had a look at what they were doing for this kind of COVID thing.
Yeah.
And you'd be so surprised that like fairly big tourist destinations outside of Kagoshima are doing nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. I mean, it's shocking. It's just like one bottle of alcohol gel and that's it. So, it kind of sucks.
So when I was in Fukuoka not too long ago, even at H&M or like at Uniqlo or something, they have scanners. Like you scan for a temperature, and then they only allow certain number of people in the store at one time. They keep the doors and windows open the whole time. I mean, they're taking it seriously.
Yeah.
But then in the same little area, you go down the street a little bit and you see this packed in izakaya with tons of people and the door's shut.
Yeah.
Door shut.
Yeah, and you're looking at them, you're like, what are you doing?
I mean, there's like been a big disparity between responsible businesses and ones that are kind of just getting on with it as the information comes out, but not really thinking ahead.
Yeah.
And there's a big gap there, right? But I mean, the main thing about Japan that's good is that obviously the Japanese people tend to follow the guidelines, right? So if they say wear a mask, everybody was wearing masks anyway. You know what I mean?
Can I just say this? Okay, I'm sorry, guys. As the American here, I have to apologize for all of America. The news has been just so bad recently. I don't want to get into it, but the fact that a mask in America is a political statement is so ridiculous. We wear masks every day in Japan as like even if they're like 10% effective, who knows? But we wear them as like a way to say, look, we care about your well-being. We understand that this is a scary time, and we want to take whatever measures we can.
It's interesting because masks actually have two kind of uses in Japan for me. Like pre-COVID, if you had a cough or a sneeze or something like that, you'd wear a mask, right, to stop other people getting sick.
Right.
Another kind of use of it is how we would use sunglasses in the West, right? When you want to have like a barrier, like a personal barrier. So a lot of Japanese people don't really wear sunglasses so much.
Why don't you guys wear sunglasses? I've noticed I wear sunglasses all the time, and then people look at me weird. And you guys don't wear sunglasses. If you do, you don't wear them in winter because if it's cold, you don't need sunglasses. I don't get it.
So yeah, you have the point that so mask is like our sunglasses, to hide our face.
Yeah.
But I don't know why we don't wear sunglasses that much. Because
Chinese tourists do.
They do.
Every
Do they?
grandma comes here with the giant,
massive one.
Yeah, the
For
Korean
what?
Dictator glasses.
Yeah,
right?
I wonder because here in Kagoshima we have like ash, volcano ash is flying. I mean, raining
Yeah.
almost all the time. But I don't wear sunglasses, and then it got my eyes so
Yeah.
hard. Yeah, I don't know. It makes me feel like ちょっと恥ずかしい embarrassing when I wear sunglasses.
I think it's the showy nature of it.
Yeah.
Alex. I think in Osaka and places like that they probably wear sunglasses.
Really?
more
Maybe.
It
often.
makes me feel like I'm like なんか
Trying to be cool?
Yeah, trying to be cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it is cool to wear
Yeah,
sunglasses.
and then also because of your eyes are like brighter than us.
See, I don't know if
No?
that is the case because I'm much more light sensitive than my Japanese friends.
Right? That's why the people.
But it might be because I have lighter eye color. It also might be because I just always wear sunglasses so I don't get used to the bright outdoors.
Yeah.
You have blue eyes. Do you feel more sensitivity
Do
than?
you have blue eyes? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how sensitive people are to light. Like in shops in Japan, the fluorescent lighting is really bright in
See.
convenience stores and stuff like that. So that's
What about your wife? Because you wear sunglasses all the time.
Yeah.
Does she wear sunglasses too?
not a lot. No, when we go on holiday to Europe, yeah, but not so much in Japan.
It's like a bikini, same as bikini. When I can wear bikini when I go outside.
Even now?
No. Shut up. Yeah, it's like a bikini. I can wear bikini when I was skinnier.
Let me explain this to the people at home. So especially Japanese girls, when they go abroad, especially it's like America or something, they just go free.
Yeah.
Like they get their tits and ass out. They
that's not true.
They wear a
That's not
bikini.
true.
They're just like going crazy. They get a fake tattoo. I mean, it's like freedom.
Yeah.
And then they come back to Japan and then they reset to like cute
Yeah.
office lady that doesn't never
Because we
speak up.
care, we feel like somebody is seeing on us in Japan.
Yeah.
And then,
right.
wearing sunglasses or wearing bikini is kind of like same thing.
So getting looked at and judged, right?
Yeah.
Don't want to stick out.
Well, that's the thing about Corona, or COVID or whatever, is that people are judging if you're wearing a mask or not all the time around you.
That's right.
So societal pressure creates that kind of environment.
Society pleasure.
It
That's
looks
right.
so strange to me now because I'm used to everybody wearing a mask. So like when you go outside and you see just that one person who's not wearing a mask, you're like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
You're a terrible person, you know. And then I avoid those people. I'm
We
like,
had one guy who turned up at Sengan the other day, and he was like, I'm not going to say who it was, but it was a foreign person who lives in Kagoshima.
Okay.
And he was like, I'm not wearing a mask.
and then did you say, well, you're not coming into this garden?
Basically. So the stuff, I had to go down and kind of deal with it. But, agreement says if you don't wear a mask, you can't come in.
Right.
So I just read that to him. and
If
he
the
was like,
tourist, if the customer forgot to bring mask,
You
can Sengan.
probably provided,
we
right?
can give one, yeah.
Oh,
We've got
okay,
spares
okay.
at reception
Right.
to give out as well.
It's like, I'm sorry. If you refuse to wear a mask, then go home. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, why are you ruining it for everybody? Just go home. I'm just sick and tired of seeing these videos from America, especially fat people in Walmart that are like trying to come into Walmart with no mask on, and the poor staff are like saying, you need to go home or get your mask on. They're like, oh, it's my freedom, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, this is a private business. Get the hell out. What are you doing?
What is it about? So, like, I was watching the YouTube channel the American person was making, and then, mask is something about
Trump.
free.
It's Trump. Trump did it. Trump did it. Trump,
because of Trump.
made the mask into a symbol of being like a liberal or being like a Democrat. And
I
so
see.
like, and I'm not speaking for everybody. Don't try to, well, you guys can't come to Japan anyway, so screw you. But anyway, so all those Trumpians out there, it became like this political statement for them. They're like, I'm not wearing a mask. I'm manly. I'm not afraid of this hoax, or they call it the Chinese flu and all this other shit. And it's ridiculous. That's why you look at the number of infections in America, and it's like, I think it's the highest in the world. I think it is highest in the world.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's like the biggest fail of the last 100 years in America is this pandemic.
Oh, now I understand. Like every time I see they're screaming about like I'm free or this is my right or
it's stupid Trumpians.
now I understand that.
And I'm really worried about those people because, they're like 40% of the population. Not all of them are that ridiculous, but, a lot of Trump supporters out there, I don't know how to deprogram them and make them normal, kind people again. That's the big challenge that America has to do. But let's not talk so much about America. Let's talk more about Japan. Japan has actually been, until recently, very successful in containing the coronavirus, despite what I want to say is a complete lack of testing.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to be critical about that. And like kind of make-believe testing, right? I mean, oh my God, I will get into it in a minute, but like they've been pretty successful containing it until like the last 2 months.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the numbers skyrocketed.
Yeah, what happened?
Go
Because
to
of go
travel.
to travel. Yeah, go to travel.
Alex, because this is your industry. What was Go to Travel for those that don't know?
So the Go to Travel campaign was basically a large kind of discount given out by the government to
A huge discount.
domestic travelers who wanted to visit different regions and things like that. So you could get like 30% probably more off.
More because they could combine it with local promotions as well.
Yeah,
I mean, like
so you could get like cheeky Kyoto coupons. So you could get like coupons to use in areas as well. So it was a huge, discount and stuff like that. But I mean, whether that was the cause of this spike in coronavirus or not, I don't know, to be honest with you, because it's so focused in Tokyo.
But the problem is those freaking Tokyo people came to all the other places in Japan and brought the coronavirus with them. No offense to people in Tokyo. We love you too, but you guys brought it with you. Come on, let's just be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe.
it's hard to say really, but I think people traveling around obviously has an effect on it. But this second wave was coming anyway. If anybody said they didn't expect it to happen, what happened in 1922 with the Spanish flu, 1920s, whatever.
It was 1917 when it started. 1918 was the second wave, and then 1919 was the third wave. They had 3 waves.
So it's like going up, down, up, down, up, down. So we kind of expected this to happen anyway. But I think kind of the lack of leadership from the government and stuff was a big problem as well. It's so vague.
I think Abe, so for those at home again, we had 2 prime ministers in 2020. We had Abe for the first part, and then Suga for like a little bit of the end of 2020. And a lot of people criticize Abe some people criticize him with being too fast to close down schools and to lock down and things like that. And other people criticize him for being too light-handed about the whole thing. Suga, he was just kind of coasting along with the Go to Travel campaign and everything. And then suddenly the cases started really getting out of control in the bigger cities. And then he's like, okay, now we need to do something. But then, he turns around and goes on like a bonenkai, like a drinking party with a bunch of his friends when he's telling people, don't do this. By the way, I'm going to go do this.
Yeah. I mean, that happens all over the world, though. These politicians, setting regulations and then just thinking they're not, culpable to the rules.
I love the
themselves.
dude in Canada. He's he voted to shut down Canada and then goes on vacation to Mexico.
Seriously.
It's like
Hey.
all over the world. Everybody's all the politicians are doing it.
Yeah.
But I really thought. I mean, I knew that we were gonna have a second wave, but I really thought that we'd be able to contain it better than we're containing it right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's surprising to see the kind of news reports in Tokyo, how many young people are out in town, and they're going, do you know how many people got infected yesterday? And they're like, oh, it's how many thousand? 7,000 was it?
It was 7,000 in the whole country 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And it's around 2,000 to 3,000-ish every day in Tokyo now.
So they were all like, oh, is it that many? Well, that's a bit scary. We're just going out to Shibuya to go to karaoke.
This was recorded on the 9th, so just remember that. I mean, Tokyo is supposedly going into lockdown now, so that might be... But the lockdown, okay, let's talk about that. Lockdown in Japan is illegal. They can't the government is not able to enforce a strict lockdown like you've seen in Europe and in America, Canada, and stuff like that.
It's a law.
Because there is no law. There is no law to say that the government can do that. So what the government does is they say, hey guys, we strongly recommend that you do these things. And then if basically everybody does do it though, right?
Yeah. I mean, mostly. Like last night on the news, there was a restaurant owner who was like 75 or 6 or something like that, whatever. And he owns like 3 restaurants in Tokyo, and he's losing loads of money every month. He's got 30 odd staff, and the money from the government isn't enough to keep him afloat.
Yeah,
so he's saying, I'm staying open no matter what.
Yeah.
Because, my business is going to go bankrupt.
And the only thing that the government can do to him really is to just shame him.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
They were doing this in Osaka. Like a bunch of pachinko parlors were open during the first lockdown in the beginning of last year. And so the governor would just sit there and read their names on the news. Yeah. And he'd be like, bad guys, you guys are bad. And that's all they could really do to them.
But the law now, the suggestion is that, restaurants and bars have to close by 8 p.m.
Yeah. The curfew.
Curfew time, right? And like you were saying before, that's just for the night industry. So
they've done some research on this, and a lot of the spread that's happening in Japan is because Japan has that culture of that hostess kabakura, like girls bar, that the guys, they go out to eat and drink at a izakaya or restaurant or something like that. And then for the second or third place that they go to a place that has women. So if you can think about this, if you got a bunch of guys crowded into a small space with women, and those guys are changing out every 30 minutes to new guys, then those women become perfect carriers that they just spread it to all the customers that come in.
Yeah.
And so that's a huge spread. So if they cut everybody's got to go home by 8 p.m., then all of that nightlife gets shut down because all that nightlife starts at 10 p.m.
Well, they've identified a problem in Japanese restaurant cultures, very kind of close quarters anyway. That's one of the great things about it. When it's not virus, squeezing into a little izakaya and
We love that.
yakitori together, it's brilliant. But unfortunately, the current climate, it's not really possible to do that. And there's so many small businesses out there. It's very, very hard to stay afloat. Man.
Yeah, but what are they going to do? Just close their shop and dying?
So that's the big thing that's happening right now is that you can see this in our local area, downtown area. It's just like shutters all over the place.
Yeah.
And they're saying by springtime or by summertime, because right now it's really cold. So you don't want to open all the doors and windows to your restaurant, right? Because it's going to be freezing. So people are trying their best to like circulate the air, but also it's really not working. And so that's why we're getting these increased numbers of COVID. But anyway, a lot of restaurants are just probably not going to make it to the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what's really is sad because Japan, one of the best things about this country is the fucking food.
Yeah.
The food here is so good. And the dining out experience is such a staple of the culture. To have a lot of that die off is just really sad.
I mean, the kind of younger owners and stuff like that are doing things like, takeout or online orders.
Uber Eats and stuff like that.
Some people are even doing like online tours and stuff like that, showing how to cook Japanese food or whatever. But the older business owners who've been in it for a long time just don't have the kind of know-how to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're the ones that are really struggling. And it's a shame, man, But I think the problem in Japan as well is that the amount of deaths caused by COVID isn't necessarily as high as other countries.
Because of the comorbidities. There's the diabetes rate in Japan is actually quite low compared to the Western nations. The obesity rate is very, very low in Japan. You rarely ever do you see like a really obese person in public. And on top of that, there's a lot of data that shows that what vaccine is this? I forgot what this is. The one that you guys get in your arm.
I think it's TB.
TB, but there's a name of the vaccine. I think it is TB, but it's the name of vaccine. Anyway, there's some research that shows
BCG.
BCG.
Yeah,
I think it is. Did
maybe.
you guys get that in Britain?
Yeah, I had it. Yeah.
Okay, I don't have it. I didn't get it.
Ha-ha!
But there's some evidence to show that people who got that vaccine might weather COVID better.
Oh, really? All right.
So there's a lot of things that are going well and also the Japanese diet is very nutritious. They get a lot of vitamins and stuff like that. So there's very little death, but Japan also has a huge population of old people.
Well, actually, they're the kind of people who are behaving themselves because they're following most of them are following the kind of rules, right? And they are very active as well. So you'll see people out walking, all over Japan in the evening.
3,400 something people died. That's a very small number in the world.
Compared to America, where we have 100 times that number.
Yeah.
Right. So America passed 350,000 people just the other day. I mean, that's just sad. That's just sad. And you look at other countries like Mexico. We don't know the numbers ever. We know that it's really bad. South America, we know are really, really bad.
So government in U.S. and England support those shop owners well?
No.
Oh, okay.
How do they do it in England?
I can't remember the details, to be honest, off the top of my head. But I think there was a fairly decent support package from the government for local businesses. There's a lot of what they call furloughing. So, people
Don't go to work,
stay at home. Those that can work from home. And that's another thing here is that the kind of work from home culture isn't really something that exists.
Actually, it's weird because a lot of people in Japan don't even have like internet at home.
Yeah, or a computer.
Yeah, they're like we don't have internet. We just use they just use their phone for everything. It's changing now.
Yeah.
It's changing now because everybody's got to work remotely.
Yeah. But I was watching the news and even people in Tokyo said they the company government suggest them to stay at home, but they can't because they have to go to work anyway. So only like big companies can do it. But
I think the question is, why do you have to go to work there? I think there is a kind of gap there. It's like, do you really need to do this or not? And a lot of it in Japan is kind of saving face.
And-
like going in and showing you there, right?
It's saving face, and it's also probably managers who are unwilling to change.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, no, you have to come in because if I can't see you, if I can't watch you, then how do I know you're working, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Why they have to go to the office to do? Why?
Your
yeah.
company is good. I don't want to name drop your company, but your company is good. You guys mostly work remotely. Only a couple times you have to go to the office, right?
Right.
That's really good. Alex, your particular situation, you can't really work remotely, but if you had to, you probably could.
I mean, everything that I have is on the cloud, so I can work literally anywhere. I don't even need the same computer. Just log in and I can just go for it. And actually, a fair amount of my work can be done remotely.
That's cool.
There's obviously an element where people have to be on the ground to run the place, but we are cutting down on numbers on the ground as well, and doing things remotely when we can. But it's just a shift in mentality and being able to pivot as well. So like businesses talking about pivoting, something that's happening quite a lot. So we've got this new environment. How do we make money out of it? I mean, obviously making money is not the goal, but we've got to survive. So things like Uber Eats in Tokyo, it's going crazy, doing really well.
Problem with Uber Eats though is they take, I think, 20 or 30% off the top. That's crushing a lot of places.
They're killing a lot of restaurants. That's true.
Yeah.
But that idea of shifting towards a different business model is important, right?
I mean, so a lot of people already know this who listen to the show, but I'm a business owner. I have a school here in Kagoshima, and like right when the big cluster happened here, we shut down the school, and I just like looked at the teachers, and I was before actually the cluster even happened. I looked at the teachers. I'm like, we need to be online tomorrow. Like, we need to set all 350 students need to be able to be taught online tomorrow. What do we do? And there was actually some resistance from some, especially from a couple of the older teachers. They're like, online, I don't know about that. But then once we got it going, I mean, it was kind of annoying, to be honest. Little kids online is annoying. But once we got it working, it worked.
Yeah.
And it was necessary for the time that we used it. We, depending on how the COVID-19 numbers going forward into springtime, we might have to go back, shift some more people back online. We definitely 100% put all the senior citizens online. And the senior citizens have been online the entire pandemic.
Do they all have smartphone and
You know what? It's great. Oh, they're
computer?
great. We get their kids to show them how to use the iPad and everything, and they get it.
Cool.
Old people, because they got some free time.
Yeah.
To like play around with their with their smartphones and tablets and everything. They are good. They're fine.
I think it's kind of exciting for them as well, right? To do something new.
Yeah.
You feel like you're up with technology and doing what the young people are doing,
And they get to talk to each other on Zoom, and it's just like you, as a teacher, you're like watching them talk to each other. You're like, oh, they're so cute, grandma. And then they show you shit from their house.
Right.
Yeah.
You're like, look what I made. You're like, good job.
Yeah.
It's like it's good. But anyway, so like we pivoted immediately.
Yeah.
We even like reconstructed the inside of the interior of the school that when we did reopen, that like we're talking like frigid levels of like airflow in the school now. It gets cold because it's like so much airflow, and just all of that stuff we did like in a week.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you see other businesses, especially businesses that are owned by older people, and they're just not changing, and I don't think they can.
I went to his school this morning, and surprisingly, the classroom table was now kotatsu.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
no way.
they keep their window open. It's
Right,
very
okay.
cold.
So for those of you guys at home, kotatsu is a table in Japan. It's usually small, and it's like the family. They put their legs under it in the winter, and it's warm. There's a heating element on the underside of it. And so for the adult classroom, which is like this giant conference style table, because we leave the window open, it's freezing in that room. So we made that table into a kotatsu, so it's like warm underneath under the table.
Yeah, that was
Nice.
surprising.
Yeah. So I mean, stuff like that. It really makes you be creative.
Be creative.
Yeah. I mean, we started doing like online tours straight away, and then trying new products out, and then
You guys also online sales of certain products. I mean, like I think that you guys, in terms of response to the pandemic, I think you guys did a very good job.
Yeah. I mean, one thing we actually did before the pandemic, which kind of was everybody was kind of like shaking their heads a little bit about, was we do something with Amazon called Amazon Explore.
Which I didn't know this was a thing.
It's really cool, actually.
Can you tell us more about this? I didn't know this was a thing.
So Amazon Explore is like basically an online tour, but it's an online tour mixed with kind of like TV shopping. So you'll basically go around with a guide. It's like one-to-one. And if you see something along the way in like a shop or something that you want to buy, you kind of click on your screen, and they get like a notification on the phone of where they're looking. And you can literally scan it in. and purchase it online with your Amazon account.
Isn't
And
that
they'll ship
crazy?
it over to you.
Sounds
Isn't
like
that
fun.
crazy?
Yeah.
It's so fun. Yeah. So we've been testing that since like 2019.
Yeah.
Like November. And when I first brought it, everyone was like, "What, really? People doing an online tour?"
You know, because
I wanted to try.
because Alex, you got to tell people you have it's a 500-year-old company. How many hundreds?
The company was founded in 1922, but it's like 800 years. The Shimazu family.
The lineage is like 800 years,
Yeah.
right? So like it's quite the traditional place, but your CEO is very forward thinking. So like you come up with these new ideas. It's interesting.
Yeah, they're just like, well, just give it a go.
Try.
Yeah. See what happens.
That's sorry.
Yeah, Japan. Now we are in Tokyo or some cities around Tokyo is
Yeah.
under
Lockdown.
lockdown.
Yeah.
Kind of lockdown.
Yeah.
But this is the second time, right?
Second time, yeah.
Yeah, so first time and second time is a little bit different because I checked the Tokyo Disneyland website and they open.
So
Yeah.
Tokyo Disneyland, I don't know if this is good or bad. Tokyo Disneyland, if you guys want to, Oriental Company, if you want to be our sponsors. But what they did is when the pandemic started, they closed Disneyland, Tokyo Disneyland. We have to say this for legal reasons because it's not the same thing as Disneyland. It's Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea. They closed it for I think 2 months,
Yeah.
and then they rethought the inside of the park. They go, okay, well this is a new normal. The pandemic's not going away. How do we make this work and make it be safe? And so they did a lot of social distancing in the park. They make, for example, rides, they'll have like a seat open and then a person and a seat open, things like that. They only allow a certain amount of people in the park and you have to have a reservation before you go.
Right.
They check your temperature. You have to wear a mask, all these different things. And one of the greatest things that I think that this is so capitalistic Disney, they sell Disney themed masks in the park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can Disney out your mask while you're in the park. But anyway, so all of those things that they did, and since it is largely an outdoor venue, it's probably not that dangerous.
Maybe.
I'm gonna say probably.
Yeah, an hour earlier. I mean, they closed the park an hour
Earlier. So I don't want to say yes or no about that, but the first time that they shut down, it was the first time. It just happened. Everybody was caught by surprise, so that was different.
Yeah, the first time everything was not everything, but many places were shut down. Like the places like many people come, but this time because karaoke open until 8 p.m., right?
Okay, so karaoke we know is like one of the super spreader events that you can do. So
Yeah.
they'd say don't go to karaoke, but I found that actually if you're already if you're drinking like with you and your husband, for example, right? It's just the two of you, and you want like a private place to drink.
Right.
It's
like
the
a
best
home.
place.
Yeah, it's like a home.
No, because like you just go in the room, it's just the two of you, right? So like I think it's safe. I'm not a doctor. Don't.
Well, it's if they disinfect the room properly beforehand, then yeah. Why
So
not?
we had a
Yeah,
Christmas
I don't know.
party at my house with a couple of staff, and then we were getting kind of loud into the night, so we had to leave my house. Otherwise, I would get kicked out of my apartment. But so we're like, where do we go? So we went to a karaoke place, and like we went in there with like alcohol swabs, just like disinfected the whole place, and then we just like enjoyed like 2 hours in karaoke. It was great.
It's hard to know what's okay and what isn't. That's the main problem.
Yeah.
Because the first time around, nobody knew
Right.
if it was going to kill loads of people or if it wasn't. Or,
No, people thought it was going to be the Spanish flu. People thought there's going to be like hundreds of millions dead.
Yeah.
That's what we thought.
So you mean Spanish flu was worse than now?
Much worse.
Okay,
I think it was 35 million people or something like that total. I mean, dude, there were reports in San Francisco of a guy contracting the flu and 12 hours later dying while driving the trolleys and stuff like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. How many people died from the Spanish flu?
Is Spanish flu still exist in the
No.
world?
No.
According to Google, it says that 500 million people were infected and 50 million people died.
50 million people.
That's a big death rate, isn't it? Right.
And they figured out in the middle of that pandemic, actually, that what they were doing, the way that they're treating the patients was actually killing them. They'd keep them in these locked up rooms, and then like the virus had spread around and everybody got sicker. What they ended up doing in the end is they put the patients outside in the sun.
Oh, right.
So they get vitamin D, the sun disinfects the virus so it doesn't circulate so much, and then they get the fresh air and everything, and then they started to get better. Well, some of them started to get better. But yeah, I read a book this thick on the Spanish flu.
Did you?
Yeah, just
When?
when the pandemic started,
Okay.
just to
Yeah.
see what would probably happen with this pandemic, so I could plan for my businesses.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
what is going to happen after,
Do you know what Roaring 20s means?
No.
So after the Spanish flu, 1919 was the last year of the Spanish flu. 1920 was the start of a big decade full of fun and drinking. Don't worry about what happened at the end.
Prohibition.
Not Prohibition, the Great Depression.
That's it, yeah. When was Prohibition?
Prohibition was, I think, right around there.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. But anyway, it ended with the stock market crash of 1929.
Yeah.
And then 20 years of depression. Don't worry about that.
But so you mean so fun thing is going ahead?
So we're gonna get 9 years of fun.
And then another world war.
And then, no. 9 years of fun, 20 years of hell, and then a world war.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Bright outlook then. Good.
At least we get 9 years of fun.
I think there will be a boom after this
There's
is finished.
definitely gonna be a
gonna be
boom.
an economic boom.
Are you
but-
guys gonna take the vaccine?
I don't know.
Can
Not
you?
sure.
Can
I'm gonna
you?
be first in
Yeah,
line,
from
baby. First in
February,
line. Give me
from
that shit
February.
right now.
Like people, like normal people like us can get, vials.
Okay, I was kind of shitting on Suga before, but one thing that the Japanese federal government did do that's good. What they're doing, one thing that's good and one thing that's kind of stupid. The good thing is that they've already purchased, I think, 300 million Pfizer vaccines.
How many
Right.
people are in Japan?
135 million, so it's two doses per person.
Oh, okay.
So they've covered the whole population of Japan. They just need to approve the fucking thing.
Right.
They're like, oh, we're going to do our own tests, even though there's like, I don't know, I think at this point, 20 or 30 million people in the world that have already taken the vaccine. And they're like, we need to do our own testing just to make sure. I'm like,
Isn't there a Japanese vaccine coming out as well, though?
is
Really?
there?
Yeah.
Do they have that
Thought
kind of research
someone
here?
was, I'm sure someone was making a vaccine here as well.
Do they just give up halfway through?
I don't know. Or copy our one, improve it.
Dude, that Pfizer vaccine, that mRNA thing, they made that 2 days after they got an image of the virus in January of 2020.
Yeah.
So a whole year ago. And 2 days later, they had the vaccine.
すごい.
And the only thing that they've been doing for the whole year is just testing it.
But it's the first mRNA vaccine for humans, right?
It's not the first one, but it's the first one that they're actually going to use on humans. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like they
Yeah.
probably made other ones too, but this is the first one they're going to use.
So nobody really knows if it's going to be that effective.
So it's either going to be it's going to be amazing new breakthrough in science, or we're all going to turn into zombies. And let's just be honest, if we're all going to turn into zombies, I might as well turn into one too. You don't want to be
Well,
the one left behind.
I figure what's the worst that could happen? Even if I do have it, I'm not like going to be first in line or anything like that. But if I do have it, I mean, I already put loads of bad shit into my body.
That's what I was saying. There's so many people on my Facebook saying like, I'm worried about the vaccine. I'm like, dude, I know what you did in college. You did some bad shit, friend. Don't give me that crap.
Yeah. Which one would you take though? There's the Pfizer one and there's the one from what is it? Oxford? Is it AstraZeneca?
Yeah, AstraZeneca. Whichever one they give me first. I don't care. I just want it.
Do
so
we
I
have
can-
a choice?
Probably not. I just want to go back to my old life. Like a year and a half ago, before today was great.
Yeah.
Like I want to go out and eat in an izakaya and not feel guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like every now and then for business, I have to meet people. This is another reason I don't actually go to my school anymore. Like I don't physically go to my school anymore because, you know, like sometimes I have to go out of state or, you know, I have to meet with people. And so to you know, what is it called? To avoid the risk of me, you know, being a problem for my school, I don't even go to my own school anymore.
Well, I've not been on a plane since like February last year.
Oh, I went to an island for a little fun a couple of months ago.
Yes. Yeah. Saw a video about that. But yeah, I mean, I can't remember what it's like to travel anywhere. I mean,
I think, and we all love traveling, I
Right.
think.
I love it.
All right, Natsuki, where are you going after the pandemic? First place.
Somewhere out of Japan. Somewhere, anywhere. I want to get out from Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Korea first because it's close.
Isn't Korea basically cold Japan? I mean, I go there.
But
it's-
still, food
Like,
are different, people are different.
people in Korea, man, they stand so close to you at the convenience store. What's that all about?
Really?
Is it
I
just
didn't
me?
notice that.
I don't know. I turn around like I could feel. I thought it was air conditioning on the back of my neck. And I turned around, there was like an old dude stood there, like literally touching.
the only thing that I notice when I go to Korea is that because you know where we are in Kagoshima, we have a very old airport, and then when we fly from here to Incheon, which is the brand newest gem jewel airport in Asia.
I love that.
So you just get off the plane, you're like, I have arrived. I am here. It's just a different.
It's a nice
experience.
airport, though.
It's a
Yeah,
really
it
nice
is,
airport.
it is.
The one in Singapore's good. That Changi, is it? Changi International.
I've never been to Singapore. Oh, Singapore is a good idea.
Singapore's kind of cool, but boring.
I hear
really?
that Singapore
Boring?
alcohol is expensive.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
hear
it's
that
well
too.
expensive. Yeah, but I kind of found Singapore like interesting but kind of dull. Like I preferred Hong Kong actually, pre-China.
So I'm kicking myself that I never got to Hong Kong before China,
Ruined it all.
Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Well done.
Poor. I saw something on the internet the other day. It's like free Hong Kong. I was like, oh yeah, that's, it's like that was a thing. But it's just like you look at that and you're just like, I don't think it's coming back. If I was a Hong Konger, I'd be like, bye bye, let's go somewhere else.
Well, they've kind of covered it over with coronavirus, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on in China and the area like around it that probably isn't getting reported.
So the numbers in China, they don't even report them anymore. They're just like, we don't have corona, but then they like locked down a city the other day.
Really?
Yeah, you're like, why did you lock down the city of 17 million people? They're like, don't worry about it.
It will be fine.
Alex, where do you want to go after the call?
Oh God, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to go back to Britain, obviously, because my parents are out there, and I just want to sit in a pub beer garden outside and have a beer and some pub food.
Dude.
Is your family okay in UK?
Yeah, mum and dad are kind of at home, but they never went out anywhere anyway, so it's all good. Regular kind of life.
I really hope that my mom, who I haven't talked to recently, but I really hope that she's behaving herself.
Yeah.
She is not the type to behave herself, and she is 74, I think.
She wear a mask at least.
Yeah, I hope she does.
That's the Japanese DNA, man.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
I mean, she does follow rules. When you most rules.
Where would you go? If
You
were
know,
going somewhere?
I one thing that I was noticing through this whole like, because it hit Europe first really hard, right? Especially Italy. I've actually never been to Italy. I've never been to that area I've never been to Europe, so I've never been to any of those places. And I'm like watching these they look like a post-apocalyptic scenes of like Rome that are just empty, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I should probably go and visit these beautiful places before I don't have a chance.
You've never been to Europe?
You guys smell bad.
No, we don't.
Yes, you do.
Compared to Las Vegas.
No, because it's not you, not British people, but a lot of let's just call them Northern European people who don't understand the hot sun of Vegas.
Right.
They come in and they're like, "What's deodorant?" And you're like, "Dude, come on!" Like, what the
Seriously?
Yeah,
Wow.
they smell bad.
Maybe it's just the kind of people who go to Vegas. I don't know.
It
Who
could
knows?
be Euro trash, with their fucking haircuts and everything. No, I'm
You've
kidding.
got to go to Europe, man. You've got to get the Americans in Europe with the shorts on and kind of long white socks and a baseball
Can
cap.
I apologize again today? This is the second time. American tourists, we are not the most stylish bunch
God, no.
of tourists. No, we really aren't. Like when you're here in Japan and you see some white people out on the street and you're like, because they're obviously tourists, you can tell where they're from.
Yeah.
Like if they're European, you can tell they're European. If they're American, you can tell because of the sandals.
Wow, sandals. Oh, Australian wears sandals too.
I feel like Australians are louder than Americans, so you can hear them before you can see them. Oh, we're just shitting on everybody today.
Yeah. Sorry, world. Yeah.
Sorry, word.
No, I'm just kidding. They call them jandals, right?
Jandals, yeah.
Who does?
Japanese sandals, jandals is
Jandals.
what the Aussies call sandals.
Really? Wow.
I would also like to go to Australia. Ever since I saw that video of that dude who got into a boxing match with a kangaroo to save his dog. Did you not see that?
No.
We're gonna link this in the video description. It's crazy. Like this dude jumps out of it's the most Australian thing you've ever seen. He jumps out of a Jeep, runs to a kangaroo that has his dog in a headlock.
It looks like a human.
It looks fake, but it's real. And then this dude, he's all speaking all Aussie and shit, punches the kangaroo in the face. Kangaroo lets go of the dog and like fronts up to the guy. He's like, "What? You want to go?"
Yeah.
And then the kangaroo just like hops away.
Jesus.
And I'm like, I gotta go to this place.
Yeah. No, I'll check that one out, man. Crocodile Dundee territory.
Yeah,
Love it.
dude.
Yeah. Sweet, man.
I think I want to go to Italy. I think Italy and Spain, and then maybe your country. I don't know. I'm not
Maybe
really.
your country.
England's
don't
great,
want to
man.
go to your country.
You'd love England. It's brilliant.
What is good? Would you recommend there? Would you recommend other places like Denmark or?
I've never been to Denmark, actually. That might be interesting to go to. Paris is all right. I don't know.
Only Paris.
Depends if
Not
you like
France.
it.
Only Paris.
I like southern France as well. South of France is nice too. Yeah. Italy's cool. Yeah.
I love the food in Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since I'm single now, who has the hottest chicks?
The hottest chick. Russia? I don't know.
Let's avoid that.
Why not? Why not? Why not?
Let's just avoid talking
Soviet
about that.
war. And then it's like probably the bar's a little bit lower. Probably I don't know.
Dude, come on. I'm not gonna. Dude, Trump isn't Trump's wife from where's she
Yeah,
from?
there you go.
Ukraine
They love
or something?
Americans. Love it. Yeah.
No.
Okay,
Let's-
remind you guys, this is Small Talk Japan. Okay?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Are you suggesting I find a Japanese girl?
Sure.
There you go.
Yeah, dude. Okay, lockdown's been really hard for single place. Not lockdown, but the pandemic has been really hard for single people. Like,
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
you can't meet anybody.
Yeah, you were trying the dating app before.
No, because Natsuki has a different podcast. It's
Okay.
Women's Gedoku Show. It's all in Japanese. And like she had on this guest that was like, I have this dating app. It's great. Blah 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 blah. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. Let me set that up. I set it up, and I got all these messages from like these over 40, like sad looking. They're holding cats, and I'm just like,
What did you do? What
No, I
did
don't
you
know.
do?
You
And then,
filled
like-
in your profile wrong,
Yeah.
man. Surely.
no, like it was I don't even think I had a profile. I think I just had a picture and an age or something. And then like I was just holy crap, and I was just like, and I tried to delete it, but there's like no easy way to delete it. So
Right.
then, since it was her show that inspired me to do this stupid thing, I made her delete
thing.
my account. I was like, can you please delete this for me? And so on one phone, on her phone, she's got like this crazy long instructions on how to
Yeah.
delete your account.
Yeah.
And then the other, she's got my like app, and she's trying to delete my account. Finally,
Is
the
it that hard to do?
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard.
What app was it?
Pairs.
Pairs. The Facebook one?
Pairs. Fuck you, Pairs. No, it's not your fault that all those women with cats messaged me.
But when coronavirus started, right, everybody was doing like onnomi, like drinking on the internet on a Zoom thing.
Oh, that
That
was
was
really,
fun. That was
really.
fun.
And that was fun like twice.
Josh, you the other day. Okay, so we had a Otsukari Kai for some like a drinks party for something, but like since Josh is teaching, he had to like separate from us because we're kind of dangerous. So it was like he zoomed in. How was it?
It was pretty boring, dude.
Yeah, because like less of we are together and only he
Yeah.
was aware.
Yeah.
Everyone else was eating tacos and drinking and doing like shots and stuff, and I was just sitting in my house like,
Watching them having fun, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you seem lonely.
The first time we did it with the guys up in Tokyo.
Yeah, that was fun.
that was fun. But
I think it was because the guys in Tokyo.
yeah,
they're
just
fun.
as who they were.
Yeah.
And then I went to the convenience store with my phone.
Okay,
Ah,
so
that's
so
fun.
Alex's wife, who I hope to have on the show at some point in the future, Alex's wife hates me, and the reason why is because like whenever he's doing something stupid, I'm usually involved,
Yeah.
and so like he's drunk and he's at home and he's like, "Wife, I'm going to the convenience store to get more alcohol." She's like, "Are you serious?" It was
Yeah.
like 2 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
And he takes his phone out with him like this, and his wife is just like, "Oh god," because Alex's wife is really like stylish and cool.
Yeah, she's cool.
And
And,
so if
she
you-
doesn't really drink alcohol.
No.
That's the reason why. Yeah.
Not a lot, no.
Yeah.
Not like us.
No one.
No. Just a sip.
But anyway, you went to the convenience store and it was really hilarious because like
Yeah, because the guys in Tokyo are on the phone going, "Oh, this is like a rural convenience store. Look, they don't have any
fun of you.
products."
Same in Tokyo.
Yeah.
But it's because like he had to walk down like a dark street to get there from,
Yeah, yeah.
from his house.
Like, where are you in the middle of the nowhere?
Middle
Yeah.
of nowhere.
Do you get internet out there? Yes, we get internet.
Yeah, we have the internet.
Well,
yeah.
because Alex, in our town, we live in a medium-sized like city, but
Yeah.
you live kind of in a suburb.
Yeah, on the outskirts. Yeah.
Big house.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Bigger than Tokyo.
Yeah, recently you have a lot of shops around your house.
Yeah, it's quite convenient now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not that rural.
I want to move because I live in the middle of downtown area because I was just like, I'll just drink and then go and pass out in my bed. This is the plan. And it worked great for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then this whole pandemic thing happened. And
Yeah.
Now I have to actually live in that small box.
I mean, I used to live in town in England, like in an apartment, and it was cool. But people would like come round at like 3 o'clock in the fucking morning, knocking on the door, going, "Oh, let's have a drink at your place." Or,
That sounds fun.
yeah, no, it was, but yeah, not when you're asleep.
The problem with my current apartment building is that there's other people who live in the building that I know. So they'll ring my doorbell.
Sounds like fun. It's like a dorm.
No, but I don't want to drink at that point because it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I got to work the next day, and they're like, bing boom, bing boom, bing boom. I'm like, dude, leave me alone. Fuck off. But yeah,
Sounds like fun.
it is kind of like a dorm. But I'm almost 40.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We are not teenager anymore. I mean, teenager can drink, but okay, yeah, we are.
So
All
drink good sake, but less. Good alcohol, but less quality.
I'm actually into that now. The high quality and less volume.
He needs quint. なんだっけ量となんだっけ equipment? No.
量?
量.
Volume.
Volume.
I need a lot.
Yeah, you need
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, well, that's all of us.
Yeah.
We're alkies, guys. So let's close down our talk about COVID with just one comment each. How do you guys think the future is going to go?
Quantity. That's what I want
Quantity.
to say.
We're still on that.
Rewind. Yeah.
Alex, so how do you think the pandemic is going to go, especially in Japan, going into the Olympics?
I mean, like Tokyo at the moment's kind of obviously the amount of cases is kind of spiraling out of control every day. But I think with this new state of emergency, it's called, I guess.
It's not actually a lockdown; it's a state of emergency.
When do we have Olympics in July?
July.
Yeah.
This year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do we? Will we?
I don't think
I
so.
don't know. Oh, you don't think so?
I really doubt it's going to happen because you've got to get these athletes into the country vaccinated, and then obviously they've got to train for a couple of months, acclimatize. So it's got to start pretty soon. And the guy from the IOC, one of the kind of veteran people there, is saying it's going to be pretty tricky to meet those deadlines.
I think they're going to do it.
Paralympics is a big problem as well.
I'm not sure if they'll be able to do the Paralympics just because that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Because they have comorbidity.
Oh,
But
I see.
I don't know. I would wager 75% that they're due the Olympics. Just do it.
I mean, it might be like no spectators or online or whatever, but at the moment, if they don't have a plan in place and they just expect to do it normally, it ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
But, I expect the number in Tokyo will go down next couple of months.
Especially going into the warmer months and things like that.
Yeah. I mean, the second peak came and went. The third peak's going to come and go. It's just when,
Third peak will come.
I don't know if there's gonna be a third peak because if we look at just New York compared to Tokyo, okay, or London even, if we look at the differences, Tokyo is much more densely packed with people, and they have much fewer cases.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that if there's a country that's going to be able to deal with this really well heading into the Olympics, I think it's Japan. I think Japan will do I hope Japan does a good job dealing with this.
It's hard to know how many tests they're actually doing. I mean, there's figures on the internet actually, but it's like several thousand people is not a big deal in a mega city like Tokyo.
No.
And it's like unbelievably huge as a city, It's like a country in itself almost.
I wish they'd have it like in America where you could just get an on-demand test anytime. I wish I would get tested every day. Or just get one every day just to make sure.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
But Natsuki, what do you think going forward? Corona.
I have no idea. What
do you want to happen?
What do you want to happen? It's shut down.
Shut down?
Yeah, shut down as soon as possible.
And then, cases decrease.
Cases decrease.
You going to do the vaccine?
I will.
I will.
I will. I'm
Yeah.
not afraid type of person.
I'm going to be first in line.
Have one of each, have both.
Have both. Double down.
Cocktail. Yeah.
Yeah, I do hope that Japan does well. I hope that the cases go down, and I do hope that the Olympics happen. Because it's really sad that we got it. We got the Olympics for 2020. It was like that was our golden year, and we got a do-over this year. And if we don't do it this year, we don't do it.
I mean, I personally don't care about the Olympics. I'm sorry, this is unpopular opinion perhaps, but it's like kind of minor sports that nobody usually watches that come around every 4 years. So, I mean, I hope they have it because a lot of people have got high expectations for it. And it's a great event for Japan and things like that. But personally, man, I don't watch the Olympics anyway, so I don't really care. But
I don't watch the Olympics anyway either. But it sounds like fun. Many people come, like foreign people come, and so I hope.
It sounds like fun if they're not coming with Corona, right?
Right. That's right. To me, it's like a festival.
Yeah. Which I
I
also miss. We don't have any We didn't have any festivals last year. They're all shut down.
yeah.
All right, let's end this on a positive note. I hope the vaccine comes soon, and I hope everybody gets vaccinated. And you guys at home, please stay safe. Wear your mask, use alcohol in your hands.
When it does come, though, the economy's going to come back.
Right.
And it's going to be fun.
It's going to be super fun. We just have to wait until then. Don't die until
then.
then.
Just got to get ready till then, right?
Don't
In the
die.
meantime, I'm not a doctor, so just listen to this with a grain of salt. But vitamin D, I'm telling you, there's good research behind this. Vitamin D, guys, especially if you don't go outside like me. Vitamin D.
How do I get tablet?
Yeah, a little tablet. It's called Super D. I swear to God.
The sun.
It's called Super D.
Just go outside, man.
Not just eat those little like candy, man. 200 IU every day. And 2,000 IU every day.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I just walk around outside.
Yeah, I don't get that
Cost
chance.
saving.
I ride the bicycle every day. I get vitamin D from the sun.
I'm telling you, I'd load up on vitamin D. Anyway, guys, that's been our show today. Thanks to Alex for being their new co-host this year.
My pleasure. Looking forward to it.
I don't know what our topic will be next week, but I hope that it's something fun.
Yes, I hope so.
All right. Do you want to say something, Josh? Josh, what do you think is going to happen in Japan? Something positive.
I'm not allowed to say positive things
Every year,
anymore.
Josh is like, oh, this is going to be the best year ever. And like for the last 3 years, it's just been like shittier and shittier years.
I'm not allowed to say anything positive.
Why don't you say the opposite? It's like, it's going to suck. It'll be awesome.
Hey, Mitch, where did Hayato go?
No, we might have a Hayato back every now and then on the show going forward. Thank you, Natsuki, for saying this. Going forward. But for now, Hayato is actually starting a new project in his life. And so he is working on that. So
Yeah.
good luck, Hayato.
Good luck,
Yeah.
Hayato.
I miss you.
We'll have him on future shows. I mean,
Yeah.
he'll come back and also while here not pay attention to us, and then every now and then say a comment. We will have him for that soon.
Cool.
At some point. All right, guys, that's been our show today. If you like us, hit that like button and leave us a comment below. Otherwise, please keep watching the show. We love you guys. Whatever.
Mitch, what happened to your hair?
Oh, yeah, I'm not blonde anymore, guys.
Hey, was he on the show? I mean, blonde.
Yeah, I was on the
he?
show. I
Oh,
was
okay.
blonde before.
Oh, okay.
Like, what are you talking? Were you here?
What was I
Yes,
here?
yes. My highlights.
Yeah.
Are gone.
King.
Okay.
Why you on
We
the show?
have a funny picture to show.
Okay.
On
Okay.
screen.
My Super Saiyajin picture.
I
Super
decided.
Saiyajin.
I decided to go back to my natural hair color. This is kind of almost my natural hair color. To be more like, I don't know, mature for a little while.
Mature.
We'll see how it works out.
Mature.
But anyway,
Mature, Mitch.
before that, my hairstylist was like, "Well, if you're gonna dye your hair anyways, might as well go crazy and just go like all
Super Saiyajin.
yeah, like a Super Saiyan." And I was like, "Okay." So like for 5 days, I looked like a, I didn't really look like a Super Saiyan. I just looked like a bad kid who was like rebelling.
Bad kid.
Hankoki.
Hey, by
Bad
the
40-year-old.
way, Super Saiyajin is Super Saiyan in English.
Super Saiyan.
Saiyan.
Super Saiyan. I didn't really look like that. I looked more like a Super Sonic.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, when you get,
Yeah, when
I
he
think it's
goes gold,
100
right?
rings, or something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah, he turns gold, so if you're Sonic.
Good luck.
Anyways. All right, guys. Thank you very much. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Hey everyone, Josh here. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Small Talk Japan. Small Talk Japan was filmed and recorded in Kagoshima at Story Studios. This week's episode stars Michi, Natsuki, and Alex, and is produced by me, Josh, and is executive produced by Michi. Hair services provided by Drops Hair Temonkan. This week's episode is sponsored by Stapleton A. Kaiwa. Leave a comment below and let us know what you think of the show. Thanks again for watching, and if you enjoyed the show, click here to subscribe and click here to watch more. See you next time!